Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm going to cover the next lesson of Amplify, as I always do. Today we're doing Unit 8C, Subunit 1, Lesson 5. This lesson is called I Shall Never Forget It While I Remember Anything. Why is it called that? Well, it's a quote directly from the story. Frederick Douglass specifically talks about a pretty horrific moment that he encountered, and that's what he says about it. It's a very strong statement, right? The one thing I'll never forget. That's basically what he's saying. Why? Because it was intense. It was the pain, the sorrow, the anguish that he saw, that he heard. That's one thing he'll never forget. As long as he remembers anything, he'll remember that. That's what he's saying in that. So what in this lesson, what do we need to do? The only thing I'm going to grade is slide 6, the solo assignment. In this one, you've got two different chapters to read, chapter 2 and chapter 3. This continues on with a story delving into his life. Now, I want to talk about what's gone on so far. He's given us the introduction to say, okay, this is how I came to be in the world. This is the way that the world worked. In the last one, we were asked the question, what does he want? What is he trying to achieve? Well, in this particular bit, I really want you to think about one of the things Frederick Douglass wants is for people to know the truth. Bells work. People didn't know what was really happening, okay? That information was kind of hidden from people, okay? They had some idea of what the life of slaves were, but a lot of people misunderstood this. They thought, oh, well, this isn't that bad. These people are taken care of. These people have their basic needs met. They have a place to live, blah, blah, blah. And while that's kind of true, it was a miserable, terrible existence. These two chapters are going to describe basically the later years, his I don't know, probably 15 to 25, when he's learning about, okay, this is what it's really like. These particular chapters 2 and 3 focus on what these slaves deal with day to day, problems that they encounter. One of the stories that they talk about that I was particularly kind of moved by is the vastness, how big these plantations were. One of the masters is referred to as having more than 1,000 slaves. That's a lot. That's so many that he doesn't know them all. And so the story goes, as he's going along the road one day, and he sees a slave walking towards him, and he says, hey, who do you belong to? And the guy says, I belong to so-and-so. And he says, oh, okay. Is he good to you? I mean, not really. He's like, well, what do you mean? Does he not give you enough to eat? Well, I mean, yeah, he gives me enough to eat. Well, then what have you got to complain about? And he goes on down the road. Well, the fact is, that was his slave. The slave didn't know because he'd never met the master. And the master had never met that slave, and so they certainly wouldn't recognize one another. But when he asked him that very pointed question, the slave gave the wrong answer. No, he doesn't treat me well. So what did he do? He sold him to somebody who treated him worse. Never mind the fact that he was born there, grew up there, his family was there, his friends were there. The closest thing he can have to a happy life is all right there. He shipped him off and sold him to Georgia, far away. That's the inhumanity of the situation. That's the type of things that he wants to bring to light. He wants people to know this is what's going on. So, all you have to do in this one is go through both chapters. It's about 20 minutes of reading. Again, if you don't like doing the reading, I really recommend you just hit the play button right here. The first one's 13 minutes long. The second one's like 9 minutes long. Go through the questions as it's reading it. If you're not sure, if you missed a spot, just back it up. Do it again. It'll be fine. That's it. That's the chapter. I hope you guys are enjoying the reality of this. I know that it's not a happy story, but it's good to know these things because they happened. All right, thanks so much. I'll see you guys real soon.